As we are getting deeper into the summer, speculation is now at an all-time high for the potential 2024 coasters. And I'm going to break down every park here in America that has some rumors attached to it revolving around a new potential roller coaster. Starting off with Kings Island. And there's a lot of rumors going around revolving around the old Son of Beast plot of land, at least part of it because Banshee takes up a large portion of it, but more particularly, the station that Son of Beast once occupied used to be home to a haunted house, but for what I'm hearing, the station is now getting gutted. So what does that mean? Who knows? So what does that mean? Who knows? And I'm going to go over all these rumors with you and give you guys my thoughts on them. And I do not buy this rumor as of now. I do not see Kings Island opening up a new roller coaster in 2024, let alone a new coaster themed around Son of Beast or bringing Son of Beast back in some way. I would love to see it. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like there's a lot of other things Kings Island needs more than a new coaster right now. You know, they can revamp, Boot Blasters into Phantom Theater. That'll be awesome, a new version of it. As well as Soak City can use a new water park attraction. It's been, I think since 2017, 2018 since they got a new slide over there. And Planet Snoopy hasn't really looked that great over the last few years. So I would love to see a Camp Snoopy revamp. But real quick about the Son of Beast rumors, I do feel like there is a chance for a ride themed to Son of Beast, or maybe tells the story a different way. But I definitely think, again, the next coaster will be opening up in the Vortex plot of land, and I predict that's going to be in 2025 with an outside chance of 2026. Now let's talk about Dorney Park, because this park is getting a new coaster in 2024. We've already seen the footer placement for it, not the official blueprints really, so we don't 100% know what type it is. But all signs are pointing to Dorney Park opening a brand new B&M dive coaster, and that's a huge win for the park. It's been since 2006, I believe, since Hydra opened. Actually, I think it might have been in 2005. That was the last year that Dorney Park built a brand new ground-up coaster. So this park is definitely past due. And if you've never been at Dorney Park, I highly encourage you to go take a visit, whether it's this year or in 2024, because Jessica, the park president, and her team over there are fantastic. And honestly, Dorney Park's one of the best well-ran parks in the entire country. And last fall, I predicted that Dorney Park had a pretty good shot at getting a mini B&M dive coaster. And again, that's what they're going to be getting, it looks like. And that's great because the general public love these coasters and they're a ton of fun. And not to mention, but the guest interaction with it is a great win for Dorney Park, which is located about an hour from Hershey, an hour from Knoebels, and I think like an hour and a half from Great Adventure. So for them to get a dive coaster, that's a huge deal and a huge win for Dorney. Heading down to Charlotte for Carowinds, and there's a lot of rumors as to what's happening at the park in 2024. Will Rip Roaring Rapids, the Park Rapids ride, be coming back, or is it going to get gutted and have a new ride be built in this location? Or will we see a new roller coaster or ride open up in the Dinos plot of land? And the Dinos plot of land is very encouraging and intriguing because of how large it is. There's a lot of things Carowinds can do with this area, but I feel like I made a video about the construction that's going on at the South Gate, but unfortunately it sounds like that was only for extending the maintenance road, as you can see here, to go into the South Gate, so that way when they have the parades and stuff for Grand Carnival or Winterfest, it's a great easy way for the parades to loop back around the park into their storage facilities. So that's not geared towards 2024, again, unfortunately. With that said, Rip Roaring Rapids, I do not think it's coming back. I think there's a pretty slight chance Carowinds will get a new coaster in 2024. I definitely think 2025 will be our year. But again, if we get one in 2024, I will not be sad about it, obviously, because it's time. Because Copperhead opened up in 2019, so that was, what, 4 years ago? So we're going on 5 years without a coaster, which is right around Carowinds' timeline. So again, it's coming soon, hopefully in 2024, but most likely 2025. Let's talk about Cedar Point. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's no way they're getting a coaster in 2025 because Dragster, and you're right. The only reason why I'm kind of talking about it right now is I hear a lot of people speculating that Cedar Point is going to build back-to-back coasters, whether in 2025 after Dragster, since the park is not spending a ton of money on their 2024 project. And not to be the bearer of bad news, it's not going to happen. Cedar Point will not be opening up a new coaster in 2025, 1 year after Dragster. I predict that it's going to be 2026 or 2027 for that particular coaster project. But again, it is fun to speculate, but sadly, it's not going to happen. Let's talk about Silver Dollar City because they're really amping up their hype for this new 2024 indoor roller coaster, which will be themed to Fire in the Hole, which that was the park's original coaster. And as we know, after this season, they're going to be tearing it down forever. But the good news is, all rumors are pointing to the ride reopening in some fashion in this brand new building the park just built to house this new indoor coaster. So all rumors are pointing to this being an RMC family coaster, which is definitely going to be interesting because I feel like this ride's going to have mostly dark ride sections of it, just like the original Fire in the Hole. And that's perfectly great because that ride's such a classic, and I would love to see what Silver Dollar City has planned and can do with creating a modern roller coaster with the same type of concept, 85% dark ride and 15 or 20% coaster. So I'm intrigued. I cannot wait to get to Silver Dollar City in 2024 to ride it. Now for one of the most intriguing parks on my list, and that is Six Flags Great Adventure. Like, what is this park up to right now? Because you have El Toro fiasco. Obviously, it's back open, which is great, right? I mean, it's very good news that El Toro is back. Kingda Ka's had a few issues. Hopefully, that's going to be opening soon. But where does Six Flags Great Adventure go from here? Because they're having their 50th anniversary for next year, 2024. All rumors were pointing to a Giga Coaster coming to the park. And I've heard from over a dozen people that that project really was a real thing. But sadly, it did get cut. So what type of project will the park get next year? Will it be a new coaster, a new ride? So it's really hard to predict for Great Adventure. But I've heard great things about this new park president. And I'm very excited for the future of the park. I feel like this guy could be the one to really make Great Adventure what it used to be, 4, 5, 6 years ago even. So I am very excited to see what he has planned. I do give it an outside shot that there could be a major coaster of some sorts coming in 2024, but I would say safely 2025. It's just, with Salim being such a penny pincher and cutting back all the budgets and stuff, I don't know if he's ready to get the checkbook out for a $15 million coaster this soon. But who knows, crazier things have happened. And speaking of crazy, Six Flags is over Georgia because now they're finally starting to remove the concrete around the Splashwater Falls that has been sitting there for like 4 or 5 years after they tore the ride down. So does this mean new coaster? No, of course not. But this plot of land is not very large, but there is ways to expand it to make it, even larger if they wanted to. So I'm very curious to see what Over Georgia is up to, because it's kind of funny that they might be announcing something in August. I think there's a flyer out there for a coaster event where they state they have a special announcement coming. Again, parks always overhype things like this usually, so I don't really think it means a whole lot, but they don't even have their 2023 new roller coaster even constructed, let alone testing, and it's already almost July. It will be July tomorrow. So I don't think that 2024 is going to be the year for a coaster. So Over Georgia is a fantastic park, but something's got to change because this park does not deserve it, the attention that it's getting right now, and it's just a shame. But hopefully we'll see a new coaster, but I think there's a lot of problems that Over Georgia needs to fix first before they focus on their next coaster. I cannot believe I forgot to mention Holiday World. So they're getting what looks like a new family Vekoma boomerang coaster, which is great news because finally America gets one of these really cool looking family coasters. And it's going to be located where the old Pilgrim's Plunge attraction was once built at. So kudos to Holiday World. It's been, 9 years, I think, since Thunderbird. So I'm happy to see that they're still investing in a new coaster. And the park could definitely benefit from having a new family steel coaster. Now let's get into the last 4 parks on my list, starting with Six Flags Great America. And while there's really no current rumors around this park, we do have to take a look at this center area of the park because that's where the old Splash Battle attraction is no more. And the park closed it down a few years ago. So obviously this would be the area for the park's next coaster, I would imagine. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It's a flat piece of real estate. There's actually a decent amount of room to work with here for the park's next coaster. I really feel like a new mini dive, something like Cliffhanger down at Fiesta would do fantastic at Great America. It's located right in the center of the park, and a ride like that would make Great America's lineup even better. As most of you know by now, my slogan for my channel is keep riding coasters, just like the shirt I'm wearing right now. And that is so much more than just get out there and ride as many coasters as you can, because this slogan empowers me to stay focused more, and I have more drive, and I want to be able to do more for my family, for my friends, and most importantly for myself, to make me a better person and to never give up, and honestly to stay positive. So what does keep riding coasters mean to you? And I know life is difficult, life is hard at times. You might be watching this right now and you're having a really bad time, you're in a dark spot, but just know I'm thinking about you and you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So again, let me know what keep riding coasters means to you. The slogan, I just created it like 2 years ago and it took off, and I love it. I really love what the meaning is, and I love helping people. So again, thank you all so much for the support. But let's talk about Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and are they getting a coaster in 2024? Because you might not know, about a year ago or less, there were hype balloons floating around the old Dragonfire plot of land, basically stating that this is how high this coaster or attraction could be. So the park did get approval for an attraction that's around 220 feet tall. So what does that mean? Because there's a lot of roller coasters that the park could build, and I've been hearing a lot of rumors are RMC, Roundup, hybrid, or iBox track, and that's fantastic news for you, for me, and for Busch Gardens Williamsburg, if that is the case, because obviously Aaron Gwazi has done phenomenal things for Busch Gardens Tampa, attendance-wise and the overall buzz, and to replicate that success at Williamsburg will be a fantastic move. Not to mention, you have Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion around 60 minutes away, so you can build a much larger version of that. There's a lot of cool things Busch Gardens can do with this, and I'm very intrigued by it. However, the bad news is it's not coming in 2024. The project did get pushed back to 2025, so look out for a new flat ride of some type for the park in 2024, which honestly is much needed, so that's a great move. Now let's head to Florida for SeaWorld Orlando, because they are getting a brand new coaster. Parkfans.net just released the renderings of the blueprints for the park's 8th roller coaster, which happens to be another B&M. Now, in my video I did yesterday breaking this news, I made a mistake. I was excited and it just slipped me. I said this will become SeaWorld Orlando's 4th B&M. It's obviously their 5th. Pipeline's so new, it completely crossed my mind. So yes, SeaWorld Orlando is getting a new B&M family multi-launch indoor and outdoor coaster that's coming in 2024. I've heard that this roller coaster will potentially have a 42-inch height requirement and feature trains that are going to feature a lap bar or maybe a clamshell. So I'm really excited about this, and a huge shout out goes to Park Fans SeaWorld.net for uncovering this information. They do great work, so be sure to check them out. But this begs the bigger question. With SeaWorld Orlando building a B&M family coaster in 2024, what does Busch Gardens Tampa have planned for 2024 as well? Because we know they're getting a coaster. I mean, all signs are pointing to Busch Gardens Tampa building their next coaster. And it's going to be in the location where the Sand Serpent used to be, the park's Wild Mouse coaster that's going to get torn down forever very, very soon. So wait a minute. Does this mean that Giga could be happening? And I feel like there is potential for a Giga here, but I'm also kind of intrigued by this area can be expanded in a lot of ways, whether it's using the rest of the old Rhino Rally plot of land for this and the Sand Serpent area and the Phoenix attraction, which is no longer there, or potentially, if they do a Giga, then I made videos about this in the past, exactly how they can fit a Giga coaster in this location within the park, so I highly recommend checking that out. I feel like there's a slight chance for a Giga. If the Giga does happen, and I do believe it will be located in either this location or the Jungala area of the park. These two locations are the only locations that they could really hypothetically build a Giga coaster. And there's a chance, again, I'll probably say about 30% chance that this is Giga. I could also see this being a brand new B&M wing coaster of some sorts. I really like this fit. Maybe it launches you, maybe it doesn't. Thunderbird's fantastic, as well as all the other B&M wing coasters. They are high capacity and a huge hit with the GP. And finally, there's potentially for a new family coaster of some sorts, whether that's a new Intamin straddle coaster like we all thought was going to SeaWorld Orlando. Maybe this entire time is actually going to be going to Busch Gardens Tampa. And maybe we could see something from Vekoma, because I would love to see Busch Gardens Tampa bring in Vekoma and have them design them a ride just like Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood. So that wraps up most of the rumors that we've all been hearing about parks here in America as far as 2024, or at least coaster rumors in general. What do you think? Any other park out there that you know rumors of? Please share with us in the comments. I love hearing about these things and wondering what ifs. Now I want to know which park that I went over do you feel as if has the most intriguing coaster project? Let me know in the comments as always. And thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and of course, keep riding coasters.